Hey guys, so I'm going to go over tonight's homework and it's page 49 in your binder. It's the one that's on elimination where you don't want to multiply by -1. All right, so this is a notes that we took today. It might look a little different than what your class did because unless you have me for first academic, I'm using their packet this time. So now two classes is doing number 1 for homework. Two classes are doing number 3 for homework. So those of you, I think it's first and third, we're going to do number 1. If you'd like to go ahead and do number 3 with me, you can do that as well. It'll be good practice. All right, and those of you that only need to do number 3 because we already did 1 in class, you can fast forward through the video or listen to it again just to see the explanation. So what we did here is that because multiplying by a -1 would not help eliminate any variables, we decided to look at the equation that had a coefficient of 1. Because 1, you can multiply it by any number, and then it'll become that any number. So it's pretty easy to change to what we want it to change into. So if we have a 2x here, then this number needs to become a -2x in order for it to eliminate with that one. So we're going to multiply all the way through by -2 this time so that when -2 multiplies with 1, it becomes negative. So, and then it'll eventually eliminate with this +2. So we're going to multiply -2 times 1, then -2 times 3, which is -6, and then -2 times 6. Don't forget that last term. A lot of you guys forget that. Sometimes I do too. And then -12. The bottom equation we just rewrite. And then we're going to eliminate this one because that becomes 0. That's the whole reason why we multiply by -2, so it'll get one of the variables to eliminate. In this case, the x's were the easiest to eliminate. Add these. Be careful how you add them. -6y plus -7y is -13y. Don't forget to add these also. -12 plus -1 is a -13. Divide, divide. Y equals -13. Divide by -13 is +1. So we found y. Now we just need to find x. All right, so you can use the top equation or the bottom. All right, so I'm going to use the top. Okay, so you have x plus 3. Now we know what y is. We're going to replace the y with this +1. I almost said negative. Equals 6. And then multiply these first, so you get 3 times 1 is just 3. X plus 3 equals 6. Now what do you do here? I would circle and box and draw the shapes to see what you got going on. I see a circle on both sides. Which one should I get rid of? The +3. So subtract it. All right, so then this becomes 6 plus a -3, or 6 minus 3 is +3. And then that's our answer. If you want to check it, you put the 3 and the 1 here, 3 here, 1 here. 3 plus 3 times 1, which is 3, is 6. If you put the 3 here, that's 6. Put the 1 here, that's 1 times -7 is -7. So 6 minus 7 is -1. That checks out. All right, so that's that's number 1. And again, if I went too fast, remember, you can always pause the video at any point. Don't feel like, you have to try to quickly follow along. And also make sure you try to pause the video every once in a while to do it yourself and then check and see if you got it right. Okay, for those of you that did number 1, I would say take a couple more minutes and do number 3 with me because we're not going to do this in class. Or we might. We'll see. But number 3, we have a -1 here. So, okay. And if I look at the x's, they don't eliminate. The y's don't eliminate. But I do have a y with a coefficient of a -1. So think about it. What can I multiply? Now, if I want this y term to eliminate with this +4y term, what does this need to be? It needs to be a -4. Well, it's already negative, so just multiply by a +4, and that'll keep it negative. So what I'm going to end up with here is I get a 12x. 4 times 3x is 12x. 4 times -1y is -4y. Then 4 times 14. Okay, that's a 56. No problem. All right, now I'm going to double check because, I make mistakes too. So then over here, 5x plus 4y equals 12. That's not changed. Okay, so now look how the y terms will eliminate now because we multiply by that +4. Why a +4 this time? Because the y already had a negative there. If you multiply by a negative, it's going to turn that positive, and now they're both positive. Nothing's going to eliminate. So at this point in the video, I would strongly advise try to do the rest on your own. And then if you make a mistake or pause, or you can play through and see if you got it right. Okay, so again, try to do as much on your own. 56 plus, so 6 plus 2 is 8. 5 plus 1 is 6. Now I have to divide both sides by 17. All right, remember they're both positive, so whatever the sign is, you divide by that same sign. That one ends up being a 4. If you take 68 divided by 17, that's a 4. So we have 4, and then I'm going to plug it into the bottom equation this time. So 5, now x we already have, so it's 5 times 4. Be careful not to go back up here. 5x plus 4y equals 12 equals 12. All right, so multiply these first, 20. Now if you're not sure what to do here, circle, cloud, circle. Now I want to get this circle away from this cloud, so since it's already positive, I'm going to subtract it. You do it to both sides. So 4y equals 12 minus 20. These are, or 12 plus the negative 20, same thing. You get a negative 8. Divide, divide. A negative divided by positive is negative 2. Right? So this is your final answer. Okay? Again, I know I went through that quickly, but remember, you can pause the video, rewind it, fast forward it, whatever you need, and do it as much time as you can. And again, if you were following me every step of the way, I would say go get some extra paper, copy the system down, and then flip this over. Don't even look at this, and see if you can do it on your own. That's your goal, because our quiz is coming up in a day or two. Okay? All right, guys, this is the end of the video.